Thank you guys for joining tonight. Either you know me from church, you know that I'm a mom, you know I'm a mom of six, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, but some of you may not know that I'm a nurse practitioner and I have a master's degree in the science of nursing. I'm also certified in diabetes prevention, holistic weight loss, and as a health coach by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. So I'm so excited that you guys decided to join tonight and learn about this healthy revolution. So, and for those that are already on board and just wanting to come in to get some more information, thank you guys for joining tonight too. So, Rhianna's going to lead, and so I'm going to let her take it from here.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a change of plans here, but it's all right. We're going to get this information to you guys one way or another. So yes, my name is Rhianna, like Yasmin said, and Yasmin and myself and a couple of others on this event are all a part of something called the Healthy Living Revolution. And the Healthy Living Revolution is basically just, it's a group, it's a revolution, it's a mission, it's a group of people of all kinds, people like Yasmin, who has gone to school and studied, and it would be called a medical professional. Lots of people like that. It's people like myself who hasn't necessarily gone to school for nursing.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt for just a second?
Yeah.
Can you have everyone mute their phones? I'm getting some.
Oh, yes. I forgot
feedback.
to have everybody mute. That's LaShawn. That's a good one. Here.
Mute.
And I don't know. I'm hearing like a little bit of something. I don't know. It could be my earbuds too. Just let me know if it continues. So there are people, just normal people like me, who just really are passionate about helping people take their health back. Medical professionals like Yasmin, families, moms, dads, children. We even have like an incredible program for kiddos all around the world, helping them to understand how to have a healthy body image and how to be more aware about the things that they're eating and the things that they're doing to be healthier. So tonight we're going to just talk a little bit about what is the need for something like a healthy living revolution. And so I'm going to share my screen here so we can kind of get into the presentation. Okay, everybody can see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, it says loading. Come on and hurry up and load. So while this is loading, the reason why is because healthy living used to be simple. Ta-da! And it's not as much anymore, but we used to eat from grandma's garden. We used to drink from the water hose. We used to play outside all day and all night until the street lights came on, right? Like these were the things that used to be our norm. And now we are at the point where things have changed quite a bit. Instead of us eating at the table as a family, a lot of times fast food is what we're going for. Kids are like mesmerized by their screens, right? They're sedentary nowadays. And we've got, instead of drinking water, pop has become, or soda, depending on what part of the country you're from, right? Has become, instead of just like a once in a while treat, it's become like an everyday beverage of choice. And instead of like getting to bed and getting a decent night rest, like we are exhausted at the end of the day. And some of us even pride ourselves on the fact that we only got a couple hours of sleep. And all of these things is creating a huge health crisis in our nation. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So what we want to kind of start talking about is, how are you guys taking care of you? Can you guys see my whole screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because some of the boxes are over some of the words, so I want to make sure you guys can see. So how are you guys taking care of you? Are you doing the major core things that we know has been proven to having good health? things like eating real food, eating clean, eating a good variety of whole food nutrition types of foods. We got a jumper in the background. Are you exercising? Are you drinking lots of water? And, you know, this is kind of a question a lot of people say, you know, or wondering like how much water should we drink? And I used to always say half your body weight in ounces, but now we're just kind of trying to tell people just drink water until your pee is clear. Like when you don't see any more color in your pee, you know that you're drinking a good amount of water. So that's another just rule of thumb. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours of rest at night. And that's something that I know I had to work on big time because of what's happening in that 7th and 8th hour of rest is huge for the health or for the body to be healthy. So one of the things, because we can do what we can, right? We can try to focus on those things, on those 4 value core things for good health. But there still have these startling trends in our world, some things that we actually cannot, some things we don't have control over sometimes. So one of those things is the fact that we are living in a polluted world where we don't always have control over what's going into our water or how clear our water is. We don't always have control of how clean and pure our soil is. And here we are going shopping for our produce. We have no idea where that food came from most of the time, right? And how toxic the land that it grew from is, or what's been sprayed on it even. Even just the lotions and the potions that we put on our skin, that we use in our hair and our makeup, especially women. Some of those things we don't always have control. And so we are living in a toxic world. And whether we like it or not, some of those things we can control, some things we cannot. Here's the other startling thing that we're dealing with, the fact that our food quality is decreasing big time. We've got all these things in our food that's nothing like food. We're eating pesticides on a normal basis. We're eating things with artificial colors, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, preservatives. There's all these things that has basically taken our food and turned it into poison in a lot of cases. And so this is something else. We might have more control over this, but unfortunately we're being marketed a whole lot of food that we know is not healthy for us. And so it's something that we definitely have to be more mindful of. And what happens when we have an onslaught of toxins in our body is we start dealing with something called oxidative stress. The cells in our body actually start to break down, or they start to age at a faster rate because of all the toxins in our body. And the best defense against the oxidative stress and all of the cells that are aging in our body are antioxidants. And antioxidants are found mostly in plants, right? That's where we find antioxidants. We won't find them in anything generally other than some kind of plant. And I love this quote here: in each human cell, the DNA is hit about 10,000 times a day by mutagenic oxidants. So what that means is whether we're just sitting down, whether we're breathing, or just, walking from one side of the room to another, we are actually dealing with oxidative stress to our cells. And so obviously people who are working out, whenever we're exercising or walking or being more active than normal, we're experiencing more oxidative stress in those times than if we just were kind of still. So really, either way we go, we're dealing with oxidative stress, but the only way to fight against it is the antioxidants that we put into our body. And so just as we see this apple here that is cut in half, we see one half of it is browned, one half of it looks real good, right? And the same thing with the women. Her face, one half of her side of her face looks aged, one side of her face looks really preserved. So if you put a little bit of lemon juice on an apple when you cut it, we know that helps to preserve those cells, right? It's the same thing that's happening in our bodies when we eat things that are full of antioxidants. We're causing that anti-aging process to happen. Does that make sense to everybody?
And I want to chime in on that. Not only are we helping to slow down the anti-aging process with those antioxidants, but we're also helping to prevent disease. So antioxidants, what they do is they stop that chain reaction of inflammation. And inflammation is the underlying cause of preventable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, irritable bowel syndrome, those type of things. So when we're taking in antioxidants in the form of fruits and vegetables, so we're also helping to prevent disease. And so that's pretty powerful to me.
Yeah.
Very powerful, very powerful. Because nobody wants to live with disease, right? But that's typically what's happening in our world today. And so this is the other issue that's happening is our produce is losing its nutritional punch. We need to add probably about 15 times as much of the kind of food or fruits or veggies that we want to eat on a normal basis to get the right amount of nutrient density that we would have been able to get from like a bowl of spinach in the 1950s or something like that. Literally, little by little by little, the produce, because of growing practices, because of insecticides and GMOs and things like that, we are losing its nutrient density. Some varieties have lost 5% to a whopping 40% of their nutrient content. And here we are so if you guys remember, I know back when I was in school, we were learning about having at least 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And then it was the 5 a day campaign that we heard about all the time. Now we're up to 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And the reason for that increase is because our produce and the nutrient content in our produce is decreasing all the time. So they keep telling us to eat more and more fruits and veggies just to try to make up for the lack of nutrition in our produce today. So 30 whole foods, 30 whole foods is basically what we see on this slide. And this is from a product called Juice Plus that Healthy Living Revolution has been blessed and honored to be able to use as a tool to help people get more fruits, veggies, and berries in their life, in their body, that are full of all those antioxidants. And the importance here is the fact that we're getting a lot or a little bit of a lot of different kinds of plants. So we're getting a little bit of the reds every day, a little bit of the greens every day, a little bit of the oranges, the yellows, the purples, the blues, all of those deep colors in plants that we know are full of antioxidants that help to fight those diseases and the chronic illnesses that Yasmin was talking about. We're getting little bits of all of those foods on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but I know that I'm not eating bilberries every day. I know that there's no way I'm going to eat kale and spinach and cranberries and beets and artichokes. And I'm not going to eat all of that every day. It's impossible. So
just to chime in too, and not only eating all of it, but eating all of it in the correct ratio. Mm-hmm. So certain fruits and vegetables, when you eat them together, they work synergistically, better when you have both of them at the same time, like vitamin D and vitamin K together work better. When you're taking the foods that contain vitamin D and vitamin K, they work better. And I like to explain it like, you could eat peanut butter all by itself. You can eat jelly all by itself, right? But when you put the peanut butter and the jelly together, it makes the peanut butter and jelly. That's the way that synergy works. Certain things just work better when they're together. And so that's another thing that makes the whole food capsule so special, is because it has that correct ratio connected together to have that synergistic effect.
Because they're whole food. And so not only that, but we know that all of the foods that are going into this particular product are non-GMO. They have not been sprayed with harmful insecticides or pesticides. And they're vine ripened. So if you're not sure what that phrase or that term means, vine ripened means that it has been allowed to stay on the vine until it's reached its highest point of nutrition, which is way different from the produce that we're getting from the grocery store, right? Because they have plucked it 2 or 3 weeks prior to make sure that they had enough time to get it on a truck to travel thousands and thousands and thousands of miles to your grocery store. And then enough time for it to get home and into your fridge before it goes bad. So they have plucked it so green. And we know that most of the nutrition actually comes into the plant within the last 48 hours of it ripening on the vine. So that, and when a lot of people say, well, I eat lots of fruits and vegetables, but are they eating vine ripened? Are they getting the full pack of nutrition, the full amount of nutrition that they could be getting from those plants? And that's what I love about the Juice Plus capsules. Whoops, my computer is going wild. So just going back a little bit, Yasmin, do you want to talk about this particular slide in regards to the multivitamin and versus a whole food like an apple?
Yeah. So when you take in that apple, you're going to be taking in over 10,000 nutrients and vitamins and trace minerals all together at one time. When you take a multivitamin, they're going to go in and they're going to extract one thing out of multiple different places. So you're going to end up with maybe about 20 isolated components versus imagine 10,000 components just in the apple alone. And that's before you've added the elderberries and the blueberries. So the amount of
Whoops, are you there? Are you there?
multivitamin.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh. Can you
Sorry.
hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. We lost you for about 4 or 5 seconds.
Okay. So, well, and I don't know what I said 4 or 5 seconds ago, but but what the take home was that the amount of vitamins and trace minerals that you are going to get in the Juice Plus capsule is going to be, I mean, insurmountable in a comparison to what you would get in a multivitamin.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys know what the difference between an essential vitamin versus a non-essential vitamin. You might see that sometimes when you see essential. Essential means that the body needs it to survive, but we don't make it ourselves. So we have to get it in our food. And where we get that at is in our fruit and in our vegetables. So that's why it's so important that we take in adequate amounts of those fruits and vegetables on a daily basis of that whole food to make sure that we're supporting our body.
Absolutely. And unlike when you're taking a vitamin, when you're taking an apple or eating an apple or consuming an apple or spinach or whatever, you're getting those ingredients, those trace minerals and vitamins and things like that in the right ratio, in the right balance and synergy together. So the body knows what to take in and what not to take in. Like it knows what it needs and it's able to absorb all of what it needs. But when you're taking a multivitamin, sometimes the body doesn't necessarily know what to do with it because it's not food.
Absolutely.
And so it doesn't recognize it as food. So some of those multivitamins, those fractionated, isolated components end up being more toxic to the system than helpful. So moving on to something that a lot of people have dealt with and a lot of people, and maybe even some of you guys on this call are more interested in, and this is something that has to do with the shred. And I know several of you guys are interested in the shred. Yasmin?
Yes. So what this slide is showing you is that when you are dieting and you are over exercising, so what happens is you're taking in these toxins and the body is going to try to from the toxins by surrounding those toxins, which then creates more fat. Actually, you may lose a little bit of weight for just a short period of time, but then what ends up happening? You end up rebounding and you regain the weight. Versus when you do a cleanse, you are removing the impurities that are in your body, allowing the body to then heal itself, because as you're removing those toxins, you're also flooding your body with that whole food nutrition. So you're eliminating the toxicity, you're stimulating your metabolism, you're decreasing the inflammation in your body. And so then what happens from there? No more rebound. Not only are you going to have less fat, which will equal weight loss, but you will also just overall have better health. So no
Mm-hmm.
rebound. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no real fun in losing weight only to regain weight, right?
Right.
So that's why when you go for getting healthy and allow the side effect of becoming healthier to become weight loss, then you'll maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That makes complete sense. I like to call it firing the fat.
Yes.
Firing the fat, because the only reason for that fat is to protect the toxins or protect your organs from those toxins that are just running rampant in your body. And if you can get rid of the toxins, then you've also gotten rid of the purpose of that fat cell, which is to protect your organs.
Yeah.
So if get rid of the toxins, get rid of the fat, and the fat has no reason to come back.
Yeah.
So fire your fat.
Fire the fat. I like that.
Fire the fat.
You're fired.
You're fired. Okay, so when this slide right here, and we need to find our new one here because there's one ingredient in here that's been changed, or a couple actually. But what you're looking at here are 45 powerful plant foods, and this is what you'd be eating on a daily basis if you had all 30 of those whole foods that are in the fruit, the veggie, and the berry blends. And if you also had a shake, one of our nutrition shakes, the complete Juice Plus shakes, if you had one of those with the capsules a day, you'd be consuming all of these plants that you see here. Now, again, I don't know about you. Maybe y'all are some crazy fruits, vegetable and berry eating fools, but there is no way I would be able to eat all that on a daily basis. And this is somebody who actually kind of likes a lot of these foods on here, but there's no way I'm getting it in every day. So I love how empowering this is, because it's realistic. Like, we know it's not realistic for us to be able to eat all of the colors of the rainbow that we're supposed to get in every day. But this, pop up some capsules and have a shake a day, like, this is easy. I can do this. Most people can do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is, and that is what you'll be consuming also on the shred, and we'll talk a little bit more about the shred, but just a little bit more on the Juice Plus Complete Shakes. They are low glycemic, which is good because that helps to stabilize your blood sugar. They are vegan. So basically it's a plant-based protein. It's non-GMO, so it's gluten and it's dairy-free as well. And it has powerful prebiotic fibers in it with oligosaccharides, which actually, and if you don't know what a prebiotic is, but prebiotic feeds the probiotics in your gut. And so the probiotics are all of the bacteria and things that's in your gut, hopefully working for you and not against you. But the prebiotics feed those good probiotics in your gut. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, so a prebiotic helps your own good bacteria to grow. So everybody is always heard about probiotics. When you introduce a probiotic into your body, there's hundreds of probiotics in your body. And when you are introducing, say you go out and you go get a probiotic, there's no way for you to know if that particular probiotic you were even deficient in or not, if you were low in it. A prebiotic, it knows your body, and so it's going to increase whatever good bacteria was low that needed to be increased. That's what it's going to cause to increase. So it's increasing your own good bacteria, so you know that what it's increasing is actually what you need. And that can sometimes explain why you've heard people say, oh, I've tried probiotics and they didn't work for me. Well, that just might not have been the probiotic, the bacteria, the good bacteria that your body needed to increase. That's why having something that is actually a prebiotic is more important, because it's going to cause whatever good bacteria you needed in your gut to increase. So that's so important. And now these also taste really, really good. And keeping your blood sugar stable that's important for everybody. A lot of times we think about blood sugar only in terms of diabetes, but for anyone wanting to be healthy, it's important for our blood sugars to stay stable. for one thing, when our blood sugars drop, that's when our willpower drops. So that desire to go get something really fast, that's your brain saying, I'm hungry right now. I need something really quick. And your brain knows what's really quick is things like carbohydrates, things like crackers, things like that. So we don't want that. We want to keep your blood sugar stable so your brain isn't craving that. So we can get your brain to actually crave what it needs, which is plant-based things, which include protein, which are high in protein, which means your body will have to work to break those things down, and that'll help your willpower, which also will help your cravings. So that's super important.
So those are really, really helpful to have. And like Yasmin said, they are super tasty.
They are.
And you can use it in many ways. My kids like to use it, like put them in little popsicle molds, and then eat them at breakfast. We make pudding with it, little protein bowls with it for healthy snacks around the house. You can do so many things with them.
Cookie dough bites are my kids'
Yes,
favorite.
they are so good.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on to this. This is basically what Yasmin just talked about. She just talked about how your blood sugar doing this, basically how it affects your zone of willpower and how it affects how you make decisions about what to eat. And so I won't spend too much time on this, but basically looking at this line, this light blue or this dark blue line here, this is where we want our sugar to stay. And we want to eat the kinds of foods that are going to help us to stay within this zone of willpower so we can make the better kinds of decisions and not have those cravings and struggle with those cravings like Yasmin was talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay. So just a few things about how this product line is unique. It's unique for several different reasons, but it has a food label. And hold on, let me move my little thing because I know I got. Okay, so it's 45 whole foods and it has a food label instead of a supplement label. So most of the time when you're looking at something in bottles like this that looks like a pill, you will see a supplement label, right? This actually has a food label because we're talking about food. We're talking about spinach. We're talking about berries. We're talking about oranges and apples and kale. We're talking about food. So it has a food label. Just like if you were to go to the store and buy a bag of carrots or a bag of broccoli, it's going to have a food label. It's phytonutrients, a whole lot of them. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and it's NSF certified, which just means that it has the seal of good house, kind of like the seal of good housekeeping. It has been tested to be clean, pure, make sure that there's no mold in it, that it's not, that nothing is in it that is not on the label, and vice versa. If it's not on the label, it's not in the product. And knowing in the day that we live in, like a couple of years ago when they had to pull off all the supplements from GNC and Walmart and Target because things were being marketed untruthfully, I guess is the word, and things were in the products that were not actually on the label and vice versa. So this NSF certification basically says that everything that's on the label is in the product and vice versa, and it's been tested several times to be clean and pure. And we have over 35 different, so I think we're up to 38 published clinical studies. So there's science on it that basically says lots of things. But that's important because a lot of people want to know, okay, that's great. You like the shakes. Okay, that's great. You like eating all those fruits and vegetables, but what has been proven about it? So we have about 38 different published clinical studies that have proven lots of great things that's happening in the body when you take Juice Plus.
It's actually the most researched nutritional product in the world. So that's pretty.
Yeah. If you ask Siri, what's the most researched nutritional product in the world, Siri will tell you Juice Plus. So the Omega Blend is just Juice Plus's latest product, which we at the Healthy Living Revolution are really excited about because everybody knows that omegas are really healthy for you. Not just omega-3s, which is where most people focus on, but a good balance of omega fatty acids is good as well. So this product actually includes omega-3s, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So it's a full spectrum of omegas, also in a vegan capsule, and it's 100% plant-based. So you're getting even more whole food nutrition in this product right here. So we could talk a little bit more about that if you have some questions later. But these are some of the things that I wanted to make sure you guys saw. These are some of the things that have been proven, that Juice Plus reduces inflammation, that it protects DNA, that it gives you healthier skin. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm so attracted to my pad instead of the arrow. It supports the immune system. It improves gum tissue, and it reduces oxidative stress. That thing that we were talking about that is, happening all the time, whether we realize it or not. We're aging. Okay. So that reducing of oxidative stress is a huge thing. And the reducing of inflammation is obviously a huge thing. Yasmin talked about that. Inflammation is the seed of every major chronic illness or disease in the world that we might face. So reducing, go ahead.
What's really powerful about this is you see where it says it reduces inflammation, helps with insulin resistance, reduces oxidative stress. All three of those contribute to type 2 diabetes. So 1 in 3 adults today are living with type 2 diabetes, which is a preventable disease that we know can be prevented with nutrition. And so to see the power of Juice Plus, that it can affect and support fighting diabetes in 3 different ways, is pretty amazing. And then when you see it improves cardiovascular risk, and I believe there's all women on this call, and we know that heart disease is the #1 cause of death for women. And so we know that we have the ability to take something really quickly every single day that's going to give us 45 fruits and vegetables before 7:30 in the morning, and only take about 2 minutes to do, and reduce our risk for having a heart attack. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is just one of the medical professionals that kind of dotes and really recommends Juice Plus to his patients, but he said it is the most researched product in the world, or nutritional product in the world, and optimizes human health and performance at any level. There is no comparison. This is a Harvard grad. He's an All-American swimmer. He's a triathlete. The list goes on and on. So he knows his stuff, and he was not on board with Juice Plus at first until he did his research. When he did his research, he was like, okay, this is good stuff. I'm in. Yes. So we like hearing those kinds of things from medical professionals. And then, so just a little bit about the Shred here. The Shred is basically a healthy living jumpstart it's a 10-day jumpstart to a 4-month lifestyle program. And what we're doing for those 10 days is we're adding more real food, Juice Plus Trio capsules a day, 2 complete shakes a day, plenty of water, that important sleep that we know is really helpful with a lot of the processes in the body, exercising most days, while we're eliminating gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, artificial and refined sugars, and eating after 6 p.m. We do a Shred group we start every first Monday on most months of the month. September, we're starting September 4th because of the holiday, because of Labor Day. So we're going to start on the first Tuesday of September instead of the first Monday. And what's included with this particular program is you're going to get a Shred guide. You're going to get basically step-by-step details and information on what you're doing during the Shred. You're going to get grocery lists. You're going to get a tracker and some things to kind of help you on a day-to-day basis and make sure you're adding the things you need to add and you're getting rid of the things you need to get rid of. You also get a coach. You get your own personal coach for 10 days who's going to be checking in with you and making sure that you are doing these things and that you're feeling encouraged and cheered on during these 10 days. You're also going to be put into a community on Facebook of other people who are also doing the Shred with you. And so you've got accountability, you've got instruction, You've got a cheer. You've got like the biggest, like the biggest cheering section for you ever. And you're given tools to succeed. Okay. So, Yasmin, I think you were going to have LaShawn kind of share a little bit.
Yeah, LaShawn or Alicia.
Or Alicia, yeah.
Yeah, can you, either one of you guys, can you tell us, we see some of the results here, but before I go through those, I just want you guys to kind of share just quickly what has been your experience, what was your results from the Shred 10?
Oh,
LaShawn or
here.
Alicia? Oh, there's
All right.
That's
Go ahead. I unmuted you.
Oh, sorry. Who's going?
You can go ahead, LaShawn.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, it was I used to have to drink coffee every morning, and just to get rid of my headache. But with the 10-day shred, I had a headache maybe 3 times, and then it just went away after the 3rd day, and it just kind of got easier and easier to wake up, do what I need to do, and not rely on having that coffee. I wasn't really much of a drinker. On the weekend, I might have a glass of wine, or maybe Friday. But, I just kind of, like, since I didn't drink that much, it was kind of easy to get rid of that too. And, just having the shakes, it was really easy to prepare that. And then a nice clean meal at dinner. Once I was doing the shakes along with the what do you call it? The vitamins in the morning. I didn't have to, I didn't really feel like I needed to snack. I thought I was supposed to, because a lot of the, meal plans or whatever, they say you have to have all your snacks and whatever, but I kind of had like an apple or a pear or whatever fruit, but I just did it because I thought I was supposed to. And then after 3 days, I'm like, oh, wait, I don't have to do this. So I was okay. And I think it worked out fine. I mean, I only lost 5 pounds, but it was more of getting into the habit of, eating clean and not having those cravings. It was really nice. And so I'm still working on getting used to like working out every day. I haven't got that part yet, but I did notice my hair, my nails, all those extra things. I had to, clip my nails a little bit more often than I normally do. And,
That's awesome.
Just a lot of different like little things, nothing major at first, but just kind of gradually I noticed like different little things that's happening. My joints don't hurt as much as they used to every morning.
Those are not little things.
Those are big things.
My nails, I lost 5 pounds. My joints are better. I'm developing better habits. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, so
Thank
it's
you,
overall health. I think it's working for me and my husband actually.
Yay. And then you can shred again with us in September. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, LaShawn, share with us.
I have to be smarter than the phone and unmute myself. Well, for me, during the 10 days, I'll give you the bad, the ugly, and the wonderful. I'm not gonna lie. That first like 3 days, I thought I was going to die. I am a girl that was full, and it's nice to say that was full of carbs and caffeine. And so I was doing some major purging, and you can totally tell from the headaches and everything that my body was just completely purging. So after 3 days, though, things really went away, to be honest. I didn't have any cravings. I didn't have any headaches. Oh my God, the energy. Like, I'm a girl that would come home and literally just go to bed, really, almost. I mean, I had no energy whatsoever. I was going to the gym after work. I was doing the 4 days. I was trying so hard to get 5 in, but it just didn't happen. I have grandkids and stuff that I'm raising, and I had to be at some of their things with school starting back and all that. But I'm getting in the 4 days. Just this week was a little slow. So what I've done is I'm on the 9th floor at work. So I've been walking each floor and then going up the steps, walking the floor, going up the steps.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I've kind of gotten my exercise in, because I couldn't get to the gym this week because we have big projects going on. Yeah. But
you got it in, girl.
Yeah, get it in the best way I can. Yeah. I'm happy to say that my weigh-in days are on Fridays, so I can be pumped to not be laxed on the weekend and like follow the family and eat what they eat and do what they do. But I haven't been. I'll admit I've had some weak spots, but I'm happy to say altogether since starting Shred and Live It now. Shred It, Live It, right? Am I saying it right? Yeah. Look, I have lost 13 pounds, lady.
Oh, good job.
So I'm definitely a believer. This has been fantastic. I have to admit, Rhianna and Yasmin, talk about support. I've had trainers, I've had coaches, I've tried probably everything under the sun. I have not had support like this. So you ladies keep doing what you're doing, because you are changing lives, and that's what this is really all about. So my next goal is to get our finances in order, because I'm tired of putting money, what we can't afford certain things when it comes to our health. I'm tired of that. But we're definitely going to get it together, because my husband is pre-diabetic. They have him on metformin. He doesn't have to do the shot. So I want to get him on this and get him going towards that healthy lifestyle. At least get the veggies in his body. Yeah, I am on the thing. Thank you. Okay. That's pretty much. I don't want to take all the time, but it's been an amazing journey, and I'm actually excited to continue it. So, yay. Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, and we definitely have to get Glenn where he needs to be, because we know that 90% of people that develop pre-diabetes will go on to develop type 2 diabetes within 5 years of that initial diagnosis if they don't make intentional changes. But the power in that is that it is 100% reversible, 100%. So, I know, as you're calculating things, but I'll tell you this, the cost to take care of diabetes on the low end, and this is after your insurance, is around $500 a month. So,
oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. And that's on the low end. I just had a patient today, $1,800 a month is what he's out of pocket spending to treat his diabetes. So when I say it pays to prevent, I mean that literally, it pays to prevent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Anyway, don't get me on that bandwagon. We'll be here all night.
All night.
So we'll keep moving. But thanks for sharing that, lady.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Those others of you, those are the real stories of it. And for me, I can say the same thing. I did my first shred for the first time this month also. And I have Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition that causes my hair to thin. And I haven't had, my hair on my edges has been really thin for a really long time. I kind of just gave up on it. I don't even think about it. And my husband doesn't notice like everything. So when he says to me, like, wow, your hair is getting thicker, I'm like, oh, it's real. It is happening. I was like, that was great. The improved regularity, so that's talking about your bowel movement. And you should be having a soft form stool, at least one every single day. It's a very great indicator of your health. And so having those soft stools every day has been just great for me. The mental clarity, oh man, it has been amazing. The brain fog that I was having, that I would have sometimes related to my thyroid condition, has been so much better. So that's pretty awesome. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Yasmin, because like somebody with an autoimmune disease, that speaks volumes. It speaks volumes that some of those symptoms that you'd have normally been dealing with even still have been able to kind of be reversed and be dealt with. So That's really good. I won't spend a whole lot of time because I don't want us to be on here a whole lot longer, but the Child's Health Study, which is now called the Family Healthy Starts, or Healthy Starts for Families. This is one of the things that most people, and not everybody, but everybody is eligible to put a child on this study who orders a shred package. And basically what that gives them is free fruits and veggies for the child ages 4 to undergrad for up to 4 years, or as long as you're taking the product, whichever comes first. And my favorite number on here is always the 96% at the bottom here. Or the 89% here that says that they were more aware of their health, because if our children are more aware of their health now, then that means that they will be, hopefully, that they are thinking and practicing things now, healthy lifestyle wise, that they will continue and give me healthy grandchildren.
Absolutely.
Because I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a healthy legacy for my children and my grandchildren. I don't want their legacy to be diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. I don't want them to have that as a legacy. I want them to have a legacy of health and wholeness. So I love that 89% that children of all ages were more aware of their health. So make sure you ask myself or Yasmin about that, or whoever invited you to the call, if you're interested in that program. And then these are the over 30 published studies. There are more that need to be added to this list, but places like University of Texas, MD Anderson, the University of Milan in Italy, Brigham Young, Yale, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest. These are some very prestigious institutions and medical institutions, and you're always known by the company you keep, right? And these are companies that have said, yes, we will put this product to the test and produce a study, good, bad, or ugly, and they are the ones that do the studies. The Juice Plus company does not do the studies. We are hands off once we give them the product to test. So I always love seeing things like this, because I understand, I realize that it's been put to the test, and it's been put to the test in the best quality way possible. So these are the different packages for the shred. There's the basic, the premium, and the shred 10. The basic is 2 shakes a day during the shred. And then drop off to 1 shake a day during the live it portion after the 10 days with the trio capsules. The premium is that same thing, but with the omega blend as well. And then the shred 10 is basically 2 shakes a day throughout the whole 4 months with the quad, we like to call it, the trio and the omega blend. And here's the pricing for those 3 packages. So $7.90 a day for that shred 10 package. That still is even less than a lot of value meals in the drive-through. So imagine like investing in your health this way, okay? Instead of putting that money into, the King or the Golden Arches or, wherever else where I'm sure you're going to pay more than $7.90 a day. So keep that in mind as you're considering joining us for the shred for September, and we will need to get those orders in very quickly if you're wanting to join us. Definitely want to get those orders in by the end of this week to make sure we have your product in next week before we start on the following Tuesday. So I do believe that that's the last slide in this here PowerPoint. Anybody have any questions, or Yasmin, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think you said everything. Thank you, LaShawn and Leisha for joining, and yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. So we're talking about taking your health back. We're talking about joining the revolution and being committed to taking healthy back. And it's something that we are very passionate about doing. And we just want to thank you again for joining us tonight. And if you guys can think of anybody that that might need to hear this information, we're going to do another one like this. It'll be shorter. It'll be more specific on the Shred 10 program. And it will be on Thursday night, the same time. the same place, same time, same back channel, as they used to say, on Thursday night. So think of some people that might need to hear this, and feel free to invite them. Just share that number, this 442 number with them, and we'll be happy to share with them as well. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, quick question.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a limit on how many can join this?
The shred?
No, the call on Thursday.
Oh,
sorry.
I mean, I think I have room for at least 100 or something like this.
Oh,
so,
okay.
How many people you have, LaShawn?
I was thinking probably for sure 4 or 5.
Okay.
I've been talking about it. So I just said, I know sometimes you get on the conference calls and, stuff breaks up because they have limits on them. But if you're 100, you're good.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I'll reach out to my girls and let them know about Thursday. At least they can hear the information.
Yeah.
Can't make anybody do anything, but they definitely can hear it from somebody other than me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, you guys. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank